So I want to talk to you today about joining me in just a mental challenge to reset. We have 2 months left. You could do a lot in 2 months. We could think of this two ways, and either way is great. Either way that you choose. We can either choose to get forward in 2 months from where you are now, physically and emotionally, or we can choose to just hold steady, and that's fine too, as long as you are, your hold steady isn't like Cheetos and Netflix on the couch. A lot of times at this year, we do something called like No Gain November. Is we know that we have a lot of excess foods and sugars in November and December because of the holidays. So you can choose to maintain what you're doing, or you can choose to move forward and set goals and reach those goals. The thing I don't want you to do is choose just to give it up, right? I think a lot of us have just, and this is like no shame at all, I think this is just the state of our lives, our brain. A lot of people have chosen just to, like, it's too much to focus on all that and to focus on all of this, okay? But I have a question for you, and I want you to answer it in the comments. What has choosing to focus on all of that really done for us? Have we changed any of all of that that's going on out there? Probably not, no. Pretty sure no. But if we chose to take all of that focus, fear, angst, whatever you call it or whatever you feel because of all of that going on out there, and choose it to focus inward and create positivity and create forward motion, imagine what you could do with all of that extra brain space and time to get yourself moving forward. So that's what I want to challenge you to. I want you to look at 2020 is not a complete wash. And I laugh when I say that because that was rough. But owning a business, I'll tell you, it has been definitely, I've kind of paralleled owning a business as I've gone through these things with COVID to how people, my clients, my prospective clients, must be feeling when it comes to keeping momentum with their health and wellness. And I've kind of been watching my mental state go up and down throughout this time, and my drive and my motivation and all of that. And I think, for me, it's easy. The health, fitness, and nutrition is so easy because I know what to do. I'm very disciplined at doing it. It's part of my life. It's just what I do. So when I tell you to do it, I realize that it's not as easy for everyone that doesn't just have a gym right outside their home, right? I totally get that. So this whole COVID thing was a really good example for me to kind of watch my own ebbs and flows in my motivation, my drive, my mental state, my excitement, which definitely crashed throughout this COVID thing. It's back, I'm happy to say. And kind of parallel that to my clients and prospective clients, people that don't necessarily have that internal drive to stay fit and healthy, and they don't have that. I have this automatic motivation and accountability because I have these clients that I have to stay healthy and strong for and be an example for. So that's just like built into my life. I realize it's not built into everyone else's life, and you have to have some tools to be able to do that. Hi, Lori. So I want to encourage you and give you some ideas for how to finish out 2020 strong. So one thing I'll have you do is we for sure need to set at least one goal that you want to have accomplished by the end of 2020 so that you can start 2021 better. So pick even just one goal. You can pick a lot of goals, you can pick one goal, whatever works for you, but maybe pick one goal. So my goal is I have a goal personally to do 10 pull-ups by the time I'm 50 in April. So let me use that as an example. So we have November, December, January, February, March, and April, right? I've got 6 months to get those. I've got 2 pull-ups down. So I have 8 pull-ups left to do, which means if I have 6 months to do those, I have about 1.5 pull-ups a month. That gives me a little cushion, which is always important to build in a little cushion. So that means that each month I have to improve my pull-up by 1.5 pull-ups a month, okay? So you can plug in weight loss to that. You can plug in how much water you're drinking to that. You can plug in journaling, whatever it is that you want to improve in the next 2 months, okay? So of course I'm using 6 months because that's where my end goal is. All right, so now I look at this and I say, okay, I've got to get 1.5. I think this is where people falter on setting their goals. We could set the goal, but then we go, okay, I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. But then we don't lay it out. We have to reverse engineer it and backtrack it. I know I talk about goals all the time at this time of year. I love talking about goals. So now I've got my 1.5 pull-ups. Maybe for you, it's 4 pounds in a month, okay? Maybe you have a goal to lose 8 to 10 pounds by the end of the year. Now we need to backtrack that and we need to say, okay, so I've got 4 pounds in a month or 1.5 pull-ups in a month. What do I need to do each week of this month to accomplish that? Let's take your 4 pounds. For your 4 pounds, you need to lose 2 pounds a week hi Rob, we need to lose 2 pounds a week to get there, right? Okay, so that is another thing. This is where people stop. Okay, I'm gonna lose 2 pounds a week, I can do that. But how are you going to lose the 2 pounds a week? How am I going to get that extra pull-up and a half every month? Now I need to, for me personally, I need to factor this into my training and say, okay, do I need to just do pull-ups every day? Do I, I've got my own training program that I do, and I factor in every time there's a pulling exercise. I make sure that I'm doing my pull-ups every few days and making sure that I'm working toward those pull-ups. So for me, I have about 2 to 3 days a week, that depends on the week, that I flip-flop between heavy lower, heavy upper, and I'm always putting in the pull-up into that, just even if it's assisted, okay? Maybe I can't just jump on the bar and do an extra pull-up, but maybe I can get my 2 pull-ups in and then use my assistance bands to get more pull-ups, okay? That's how I'm going to get to my 1.5 pull-ups. For your fat loss, you are maybe going to choose for 4 pounds a week. Now, this 8 pounds in the next 2 months is very reasonable. Might be good to put in a little, like a holiday cushion in there, but it's reasonable, and 2 pounds a week is reasonable if you are adding 3 to 5 days a week of exercise and you've got your food and nutrition on point. What happens is that people don't plan for how they are going to get that in. Sit down and say, what does it take me to lose that 2 pounds a week? It takes me working out these 3 days, 3 days a week with my strength, 2 days a week maybe with some cardio or some HIIT workouts, or maybe throwing in some yoga in there. That's what it takes. Got my fitness part taken care of. This is exactly what I need to do. Okay, we're gonna take that further too. So we're gonna put that there. What does it take for my nutrition? I need to map out a meal plan. What usually happens is people start the week strong. They get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They're like, yes. Then life comes in, just like all the stuff we talked about. It comes in, it derails us. So look at that. If you're being successful 3 out of 7 days a week, we're not going to get there because that's less than half the time, right? We need you to be successful probably at least 5 days a week in order to get that goal, okay? So now we have our nutrition plan. We're gonna map out our meal plans. What are we gonna eat? Doesn't have to be overly scientific. It just, pick some recipes, create a Pinterest board, just start collecting things, write it down. I every week in my planner, I write down what's the meal plan for the week. Okay, so we have those things. We have the plan. But now, how do we implement the plan? This is again where people start falling off. So we've got several phases of goal setting where people start to fall off because they haven't looked ahead. So we got my fitness plan, this is my schedule, here's my eating schedule, but now how are we actually going to implement it? Take it to another level. So when it comes to my fitness schedule, map it out exactly. When am I going to do that? What training sessions am I going to go to? My clients have an app that they schedule in. What workouts am I going to do at home? What days am I going to do the workouts? What time? And so we look at that now and we say, is this totally realistic? If I said I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock every morning and work out, but I know that that's going to be extremely hard for me. Am I really gonna do that every single day? Maybe I can say, okay, I could do that 2 days a week or 3 days a week. And then the other days I can work out in the evening. Hello, Lisa. So get realistic about what you picked. So let's look at that whole fitness thing. First we said, I'm gonna work out a bunch, I'm gonna lose some weight, right? Then we said, okay, let's take that another level. When and how much do I need to work out? Okay, well, first of all, we said, how much do I need to work out to get that goal of fat loss? Then we said, okay, exactly when am I gonna put those exercises in? And then we said, well, before that, we said, what kinds of workouts do I need to do to get there? We reverse engineer it specifically down to, here's my exact plan, the who, what, when, where, and why of how we're gonna get to that goal of, say, 2 pound loss a week. We have that fitness side. Now do the same thing with your nutrition side. You said, I'm gonna eat better. This is what I'm gonna eat better. Okay, but we need to know exactly how much more better are you gonna eat, right? How many days a week are you gonna eat better? If it's only 3, that's probably not gonna get you to your goal. So choose, I'm gonna eat at least 5 days a week better. And then pick your meal plans. How am I gonna make that happen? I'm gonna plan out these meals so that I eat better. And then make sure you have those foods available, right? I know that seems obvious, but you would be amazed how many times we lose that momentum because we haven't planned. So make sure those foods are available. And then make sure they're like super convenient. This is where a lot of people get lost. Is when we make our food choices super convenient, we are so much more likely to do it. So you're gonna bag up those snacks. You're gonna bag up some snap peas, some strawberries, some carrots, some almonds, whatever you're bagging up. Make sure those snacks are handled. What are your plans for your dinners? Have those foods available, because here's the thing. If you say, okay, tonight we're gonna have salmon, we're gonna have asparagus, and we are gonna have sweet potatoes. I don't know why those 3 foods go so well together. What a great meal that is. If you had the plan and you worked all day and then you're just like, oh, it's snowing and I don't want to go to the store and I don't have these things, you might go home and have like leftover pizza that the kids had or something, right? So make sure you have those foods available. Go to the store, get the foods. Then we can even take it another level further and prepare those foods in advance. And you don't have to do a whole week worth of prep. You could do a couple days at a time, because when you get home after a long day and your logical reasoning brain falls on the floor because the life sucked it out of you, then you will just be like, sweet, my brain can take a rest. I have the salmon right there. That's a super easy meal. I've got the ends of the asparagus already chopped off, ready to go. And here's my sweet potatoes, holes poked in them, foil wrapped around them. All I have to do is put them in the oven. Okay, that's a super simple dinner that, by the way, that's a super simple dinner that packs a huge nutritional punch. So write that one down for one of your meal plans. And it's so easy. Good morning, Loy. Oh, Loy, I need to call you. That is one simple way that I want you to sit down here. It will only literally take you, I don't know how long this is taking me, 5 or 10 minutes to sit down and plan out what's gonna happen for you for the rest of the year.